Hi, I'm Steve Baskerville, and you are watching the Big Fat Nude Hippo Show.
Oh my God, Steve, you gotta help me. I'm doing a weather segment on the Hippo Show.
Oh, good.
Yeah, but I don't know anything about it, so you have to help me.
Don't worry about a thing. I want you to remember
Buzz, catchphrase.
Just 3 lines, all right? You have it covered. Just remember this, and you'll never go wrong. I want you to be partly sunny, partly cloudy, and partly accurate.
Okay. Are you making fun of me? Are you patronizing me? Oh, come on.
Really?
Steve is saying, I'm here with Steve Baskerville from Channel 2 News, and he's saying he doesn't want to be interviewed.
Hey, what's she gonna ask me? I'm never on this side of the mic.
Steve, what's your real first name?
See what I mean? She's jumping right to the good stuff right away. My first name...
Where were you on the night of... No, you don't have to answer that.
Well, my first name is... Seriously, my first name is Herman, and I'm proud to say it. Herman S. Baskerville. And thank goodness my mother threw Steve in there.
Well, you sound like an English writer, or...
The Hound of the Baskervilles. We wanted to have a dog, but my sister was afraid of dogs, and we never got a dog. And that was always like the first question with people. After they say, Hound of the Baskervilles, where's your dog? And I never had a dog growing up, and just so much time has passed now, I've forgotten about it. But isn't that interesting? Never a dog for the Hound of the Baskerville?
Do you have a dog now?
Don't. All I got are fish. Got a nice big aquarium with about 20 fish in it. I love them. Not salt water because they're too hard to take care of.
So the fish of the Baskerville.
That's right, the fish of the Baskerville.
So Steve, how did you start in this fabulous world of broadcasting?
Well, for me it was a different route than the textbook. People always tell you that you have to go to some very small town and start if you have any dreams of doing this at all. And I started off where I grew up because I grew up in Philadelphia, which is a pretty big city. And I started working in children's radio, of all things. And I used my name Herman because Herman is more of like a character name that kids will remember pretty easily. There's Herman, So I did the radio show for kids, and then I did a TV show for preschoolers, and kind of worked my way up through the ages, and then did like morning TV for adults, and eventually, as on a whim almost, the GM where I worked suggested that I do the weather. And I said, what? Are you crazy? I never thought about it, really. But it gave me an opportunity to kind of go back to school, pick it up, see how I felt about it, and if it worked at all, then continue. And I thought if I was lucky, I'd do it a year. And now I've done it, almost 20 years. So the thing that I thought would least work turned out to be the part of the career that has lasted the longest.
Steve Baskerville, ladies and gentlemen.
Herman S.
Here we are with Steve Baskerville at the Weather Center. This is pretty impressive here.
Nice happening place. This is really the most appealing part of the newsroom. I don't care what anybody will tell you, any of the anchors or reporters who work out over there. Look at that. That looks boring. Look, that looks terrible. Now look over here. See the difference? This is it. This is the place to be. We have about 6 or 7 different monitors here, and they all mean something. They all have something that's informational. And people just, as they're walking by, going other places, they stop here and glance at the monitors to see what the weather's going to be. I got radar over here. I got storm watches over here. I've got local maps over here. So we've got the whole country covered, and especially Chicago, in a for real way. It really is. Every one of these things are tools that we use every day.
Very neat.
I've overwhelmed you with that.
I feel like I'm embroiled in the X-Files or something. Right. Oh, my.
Same thing. Our new episode's coming out next week.
When's the movie coming out?
Wow. I don't want to see that movie, though. I love movies. By the way, my wife and I go to movies practically every weekend. I love to go to the movies. That's where I spend a lot of free time.
Maybe you'll be a guest movie reviewer for the Hippo Show.
That'd be fine. Really, I've gone to, want me to tell you the ones I don't like so far?
Okay.
I wasn't crazy about Godzilla. I did not like it at all.
It was cheesy.
It was kind of cheesy. I didn't like Deep Impact that much. Well, enough about that, though. I'm sure you didn't come here to get movie reviews.
Okay, now you said that you had at one time been the host of a children's show.
Right.
There had to be tons of good, embarrassing, funny moments,
I cut all those
wrapped
out.
up with that, yeah.
Well, the worst Actually, the worst one of the most embarrassing moments for me on TV involved kids, but it wasn't on that show. It was doing the weather live outdoors, and I had about 200 kids behind me at a Little League tournament. And imagine 200 kids, and they're all between like 8 and 12 years old, and they're all real obedient. They're all behind me. When the camera comes to me from the anchor toss, I'm standing up with the mic like this, and 200 kids, and they're all quiet as can be. I made a deal with them before we hit the air. I said, look, I know you want to throw your hats and bats in the air and go crazy and hi, Mom, and all of that. Wait for me to do this. When you see me do that, then you do whatever you want to do. Just go crazy, but you got to wait for the cue. And they were like, okay. They realized he's going to let us get nuts, so we'll wait for the cue. And the anchor tosses at me, and I go, hi, everybody. And it looks like, wow, look at Steve. He's got 200 kids, and they're all perfect. How did you do that? Might have been Bill Curtis, too. Bill might have said, Stephen, how did you do that? But I had all these kids out there, and a little one walks up to me, and it dawned on me, why don't I just talk to this little kid? And it wasn't in the plan, but like a Rockwell painting, a little boy with his hat too big and his uniform sloppy. And I start to talk to him. I said, you gonna hit a home run? Yeah. You gonna have a good day? Yeah. And I said, okay. And uh-oh. And I go, all right. And the kids went berserk. They went nuts, and they threw bats. I never did do the weather that day. And any member of that crew that sees me, they call me.
They'll go, hey, Steve.
They call me, hey, you kids. You know why? Because that's the only thing you could hear me saying was, hey, kids. Hey, you kids. Hey, kids, please. Hey. So I was the hey, kid man after that. But one of the most embarrassing moments, dealing with kids in a live situation in the field.
See, at first I was about to say you could have shown John Drummond some things, from his bear coverage.
Remember when he said, get back, everybody.
You hooligans? Right. What's the matter with you people?
See, if I had thought of that, I could have just, solved it like that. I'm trying to be all diplomatic, and they're getting even louder.
So now, I have a daughter who's 12, and I hear tales that you have a daughter that's just about to graduate.
Yeah, well, my daughter's graduating from high school and going on to college, and I have why am I starting to get like that? See how you get like that's a sad thing. I know it's a great thing, but you get uptight as they get older. Don't you feel it coming? The teenage years are right around the corner for you. You just wait. You're like 6 months.
You're not even my mom. You shouldn't be like this. Come on.
It's the payback time. It's coming. 6 months from now, I want you to come back and interview me and tell me how the 13-year-old is treating you. You're gonna get yours. Remember all those years?
My mom's rubbing her hands together, ooh, cackling, Yep. Exactly. She's got it all going on. Have you ever been caught without an umbrella?
No, you know why?
Because you always have one.
I have an umbrella. I have at least 3 umbrellas here. You're right. I have at least 3 umbrellas here. I have at least 2 in my car. I have them strategically located everywhere because that's the most embarrassing thing for me to be out in the street. Once I was at the Gospel Fest and had to introduce the opening act, and it starts to pour. And only saving grace about it, kid you not, about a half hour later, Rainbow comes out.
And you bet that too.
I said, very, very nice touch. They looked at me and went, nice touch. I went, well, thank you.
Okay, show us the screens.
Well, let me see.
Dazzle us.
Actually, you do happen to be here on a day when there's stuff going on. Look at that, as we speak. It's like election returns coming in. But
now wait a second.
Like
you told me that's from last year. I don't know about this.
She's listening She's listening too closely. Look at that storm watch there. The green is the flooding. Up in Chicago, there's nothing shaded, so we're in good shape there. This is going to cost money because I'm starting to do this is my job now. I got to get paid for this. Where's the check for this part? I'm hogging the mic, too.
Okay, well, we'll let you get back to the Weather Center. And this is Steve Baskerville and Mo Whalen saying bye-bye, Hippo Show.
I'm Tony Lozano. To hear even more, you can listen to my vintage interview with Steve Baskerville on Nude Hippo, the podcast, on the Radio Misfits Podcast Network. For more details, visit nudehippo.com. This has been a presentation of Opie Productions.
Tony, can you shut up?
you know you got a good show. You know you got a show that is exciting for you to be a part of when you have a tough time describing it, right? You have a tough time describing this show.
Yes.
Well, it's a little bit, it's kind of like, well, you see, no, it's not really interview. It's not, but see, that's fun. When people don't know what to call it, then you know you're on to something.